To talk about myself, I have a total of 8+ years of experience in identity access management domain. I have vast experience as a developer, a tech lead, and architect in tools such as the market leader, tools such as SailPoint, Savian, Identitynow as well. Okay, I'm a certified Identitynow engineer. Okay, um, coming who served around 8+ clients and so for European clients and US clients from various background like insurance, banking, and retail as well. So, what you are going to learn in this demo, in this particular training, right? So, we will be talking mostly first for a beginners who doesn't know what exactly identity access management. We'll be starting with what is identity access management, what is its importance, how it is changing the current situation, particularly in this pandemic, how the era has changed in identity access management, how the transition from on-premises application to cloud-based technology has changed, and what are the opportunities you are going to get by learning identity access management. I will literally show you the opportunity around India. Okay, get an insight on that. Okay, and we will talk about why identity access management is important to you as a person as well as for an organization. Right. Later we'll discuss on SailPoint particularly, why SailPoint, why it's called as market leader, and what are the growth it has gone through 11 years of its journey. And we'll be having a demo scope of, I'll be showing a demo on how a SailPoint is managing the current world. So agenda of the training is going to be for the beginners. We'll be installing the SailPoint application, configure from the scratch, and we'll be discussing on different modules of SailPoint. It will be both learning based as well as it will be specific to interview also. Okay, so whenever we are taking a module, we will be targeting not just a module and for the sake of training, we'll not complete it. We will be taking sessions for each and every question. So we will be having questions in the beginning of the training, and each questions will be answered during the training, so that you will be well versed on what is actually you are doing. Okay. Later, for advanced level, we have custom connectors, lifecycle manager modifications, and all. So that will come under advanced level who are already working in SailPoint for let's say 2 or 3 years experience they have, and they want to still increase their knowledge in SailPoint, right? And finally, we'll have our interview questions will be around 110+ questions, which I have personally created for my own benefit and for my students. And each question will have its own answers. We will be going through each and every question, and we'll be discussing on the question. Okay, and we'll have a walkthrough on them. And regarding the advanced configuration in IAQ, this might not help you to crack the interview, but definitely it will help you in learning your skill set in IdentityIQ. And so IdentityIQ, as we discussed, it's one of the on-premises tool, and it should be installed in clients' premises with such as uh, application server, database servers, and other configurations, email servers to be handled by client. However, the world is changing into SaaS, right? Now everything is going to be cloud. Same way, identity access management also is taking this transition to cloud technology. There are plenty of tools such as Identitynow, Savian, who are in the market leaders in the cloud platform currently, and IdentityIQ is leading in this perspective as well. I will show you a demo of Identitynow, how it's working, and how you will be able to, what is the difference between IdentityIQ and Identitynow as well. So for today's call, we will be mostly targeting on what is identity access management and what are the advantages of SailPoint. That's what we are going to cover. And at the end of the session, you will be having resources like feedbacks will be provided for whatever connector we are working on. PPT documents will be provided, which will be created and will enlighten you about, it will help you in the long run, right, to understand what we have this. And we'll be giving you sample XMLs for the rules and customization, whatever we are going to do. This will help you to have a sample, in your day-to-day activities, in your future projects. You will be able to view it and you will be able to create your own logic based on this. And here the project should be the very first project should be I'll give you a demo on installation, and your responsibility to install it in your system and do the prerequisite configuration which we are showing in demo session. That will help you to real that will help you in the real scenario. Okay, and you'll be doing it on hand, right? The next step is we'll be setting up the authoritative source, identity mapping, workflows. These are all the primary things you have to handle it whenever you are going with the client. Okay. When you join an organization, if you are asked to install SailPoint software, which means these are the steps which you have to concentrate on. And prerequisite for this training would be you should have a decent internet, and it should be a desktop or laptop. I would prefer a Windows-based laptop or desktop. If you're having Apple, that's fine also. And you should have the minimum of 500 GB hard disk, and memory should be 16 GB, and more enough actually. And it's preferred to have Windows 7 after Windows 7, 8, or 10. Yeah. With that, at the completion of this training, and even in between the training, if you're getting an opportunity for with any organization, we'll have a mock interview. I'll be the interviewer, you'll be the student, and I'll start questioning, and I'll end of the training, I'll be giving feedback. Okay. And as I already mentioned, we will be not just stopping with the training. Post training, we will help you in your project work. Actually, we will be able to help you with somewhere where you are struggling at. And after this completion of the training, you will be eligible to go ahead with SailPoint engineer training for the beginners. You will be more enough to complete the training, complete the certification in a week or so. Okay, we'll be supporting that as well. And for the expert, it will be SailPoint architect who already have experience in SailPoint. To start with identity access management. First of all, what is an identity? Identity is something which is identifiable. It has some parameter which will make sure you are identifying a particular object. It can be a person, it can be a account, it can be a robot, it can be a server, it can be anything which is identifiable and by a unique parameter. For example, you are an identity as a person, as a human, right? Let's take India as an organization. You can be identified by your name, by your ID proof, like particularly now Aadhaar card is one of the base, right? It's unique in whole India. It's not. It's impossible for a person to have your Aadhaar number, right? You are identifiable. You are trackable, right? That's how every organization will have an identity. Okay, that identity will have certain accesses at the level of organization. He or she might have access to a computer, an application, a door, a server, and whatsoever. So these accesses are handled by organization. They have to be reviewed, recognized, and given to right people. This process of finding up an identity and granting access to that identity, managing an identity access is called identity access management. There are different tools in current market which is handling this identity access management platform. Okay. So let's go to this why identity access management is necessary for an organization. You people should know about ethical hacking which is happening, and you would be aware of ransoms which are asked by ethical, sorry, which are asked by hackers, which they are pulling the information from. Yeah, we are the ransomware hackers are getting information about an organization. They are binding it into their cipher accounts, and they are not ready to reveal the information until they are getting ransom. That is getting paid, right? So similar kind of hackings, data breaches can happen over the world globally by 8 reasons. Out of the 8 reasons, identity access management can handle 4 reasons. Okay. So first one, weaker and stolen credentials. It's very common thing. When you're going to your banking account, you would be asked to change your password uh, every quarter or uh, every month, right? You'll get irritated with that, but that's not the right thing. When we are changing, keeping the same password for a while, there are plenty of opportunities where a hacker can get those information. Somebody who is known to you or unknown to you that get the information and hack your account, and they will be able to change. They will be able to do anything, right? So that is one way of getting a data breached. Another one is social engineering. Social engineering is nothing but someone who is uh, entering into your life all of a sudden. It can be a colleague, it can be someone who is your friend or somebody who is getting into your life. They get information about your personal life, like your birthplace, your mother's middle name, your pet name, or so and so. Right? Usually, if you have encountered, right, when you are resetting a password for a banking account or any other application, you would be asked to answer certain security questions. And these security questions are somewhere personal to you. It might be a favorite author name, it might be your mother's middle name, father's name, so on so. You would give this information to a random person unknowingly. That process is called social engineering, and the person will now have hands-on with your personal information. He will be able to get into any platform, let it be social website or office website. He will be able to get to your account by resetting your password. Next question is too many permissions. When it comes to a user who is having access to an application, he or she should not have more access. They should have only specific level of accesses what they need to do their day-to-day activities. Got it? So giving someone like a fresher more access, like let's say you are granting fresher of production access, which is not reliable, which is not right thing to do. As so, with this, we will be able to handle permissions of the user. And insider threats, an unhappy employee is always a threat. He would do anything to make the organization go wrong way, right? He can pull the information about the client. He can share the codes to somebody. So there are plenty of ways insider threat could affect an organization. Okay. So other things, other vulnerabilities like application vulnerabilities, malwares, physical attacks, these are not controlled or controllable by us, by identity access management. Okay, they have organizations should have their own ways like performing penetration testing, doing auditing often, and other ways to handle this. Right. So read the news. I believe like a few days before you have read the news, some of you might have read the news that there is an oil refinery in Gulf, right? These people led the hacker to their system by keeping the admin password didn't get changed for a while. Hacker entered the system. He zipped all the files basically, and he was asking for ransom in Bitcoin basically. So this is one of the issue which happening in regular basis in a while. Okay, because many of the organizations are having legacy applications which are built for their own, right? So these applications has their own passwords. okay, which were never changed by the maybe the developer who created it. He created it, he left it as is, okay, and it was having admin. Someone who get hands on it will be able to do anything to that particular application level and the organization also. And you know, a fun fact: it's not, hackers are not necessarily to be what Hollywood show is showing. Hackers are having supercomputers and they will be able to track anywhere in the organization. They will be able to plug the USB and they will be getting control of the whole building and the or organization. That's not the reality. Okay, the reality is hackers are someone like you and me who will be not tirelessly, who will be someone who tirelessly trying to get into your organization or your system. Okay, they will use so many ways, like as I mentioned, social engineering. They could get your personal information. They will be able to get your mobile theft. Okay, they can burglar your mobile. So there are many ways a hacker can get into your system. Okay, and some famous example for hacking, like breaches in well-known organization, not because of not handling identity access management properly, is Deloitte. Deloitte, as you know, Deloitte is a consultant which are who are handling identity access management consulting job for almost 30 percentage of our world population. They are handling auditing, they are handling identity access management, PAM management, so on so. They let their mail server unattended for a while. They get the same password for a while, and it was taken by a hacker somehow. And he logged into the mail server, and he was sitting there in the mail server, and he was watching all the mail transaction happening between different employees. Look at Just imagine the issue. If he was able to get the CEO or financial teams notifications, okay, he can do anything, right? He have done that. So Deloitte somehow managed this breach. And eBay, as you know, it's a social platform for e-commerce, right? So it's an e-commerce platform, which led the hacker to sit in his uh, premises, in his server for 7 months. And in these 7 months, the hacker was getting all information of 145 million users, whatever the user is purchasing, whatever his name, his PA, personal information, debit card information, all these informations were pulled by hackers slowly for 7 months. It was not notified by eBay employees, or it was not notified at all to eBay until uh, the breach was highlighted in the dark web. The information were telecast in dark web. Later, they got to know about this breach. Okay. So all these things can be handled by identity access management. And as I already mentioned, identity management is meant for secure data. Data is everything. Data is the new fuel. Any data, even a simple data of yours, will be able to get, get paid a lot. Okay, a simple information about you is getting into multiple hands, and it costs a particular amount. Okay, for example, you have scanned your PAN card, okay, in some browsing center, and you have left it as it. Okay. That PAN card costs 10 rupees for each transaction. Just imagine the person is able to send the PAN card information to different banks, different insurance. You will be able to get like what, thousands based on your data, right? So this is something handled by identity management. The next one is right people. Okay, only right people who know the value of the data has to be given right access for only right period of time, right? And only for the right purpose. So when you are accessing for something in an organization, it should be uh, reviewed by someone who is authoritative, and they should validate whether you are the right person to have this access. If so, you know the value of the information what you're going to access? If so, until when you want that access? For what reason you need this access? After all this verification, you will be given access to that particular system based on the criticality. Okay, so that's what we this is something we can handle for identity management. And other than personal benefit. The government is also involving in handling this personal complaints. Government is creating many complaints platforms like, currently Twitter, Facebook are struggling with, and WhatsApp are struggling with Indian government to get their, PA information at the global level. They are satisfying US uh, compliances, but Indian government made sure that they have to satisfy Indian compliances also. Okay, so that is something which is bothering many organizations, and one of the way to handle this identity access management. And next one is cost reduction. Just imagine you are able to get access. Your client is there, and you are joining the organization. Okay, with 6 years of experience, you have all the information in your mind. But let's imagine you join the organization. You are going to get access to their particular applications after 3 days, and you join the client project, and client is taking, let's say, 4 to 5 days. So for this 10 days of time, your client is paying you, the organization is paying you some amount which is going to be this, right? So instead, just imagine you are getting access to the environment on day one. Okay, the client will get benefited and you will be able to give your best, right? So which is something we'll be able to do through identity access management. So as I mentioned, the right people, right accesses, and why SailPoint, coming to that. SailPoint has a vast history in the identity access management domain. When uh, SailPoint started by 2011, there were breaches happening all over the internet. The internet started booming, and clients started having different applications, and complaints started coming. Complaints rules that started coming from different governments. So, client who is available in whole, globally, they have to handle this complaint. So, they SailPoint was into the identity access management platform on the right time. Okay? And from 2011 until now, they are the market leaders due to several reasons. Basically, Gartner is one of the organizations which will validate different domains and the tools which are available in the domains, and they will recognize those informations, okay, on the different parameters, and they will be mapping them as a leader at what level. Okay. Uh, so when it comes to SailPoint, they have a support team, which is one of the different criteria. You will be able to get any support from a SailPoint vendor at any point of time when you are raising a ticket for them, and it's easily available also. They are not delaying with the SLA. Their SLA is maximum of 24 hours for responding to that and finish fixing that issue before 3 days. And it's customizable, as I already mentioned. SailPoint, you purchase the tool, and it is built from the Java and XML, basically, and whatever Hibernate files. So basically, if you know Java throughout, before Java or advanced level of Java, you will be able to customize the application for your needs. It allows that too as well. SailPoint just give you the tool, okay, and it will let you to do anything you want to do. Okay. And big community of SailPoint. So SailPoint has its own community called SailPoint community itself. Once you join a project, you should register yourself in the community, and you will be finding almost answers to all your questions in the community. The documents, the white papers, the answers by experts. You'll be able to find out everything. And solid roadmap. So when there is an organization, they should have a vision to where they are going. SailPoint have that vision always. Whenever there is an issue happening with a client, they will not just fix it for the client. They will make sure get fixed for global client. They will create multiple patches in a year. Same way. Now we are moving from on-premises, brick and mortar tools and technology into cloud, right? We are moving to cloud. So SailPoint took that path also, right? Now SailPoint have its own SaaS-based application called Identitynow. In future, let's say there is a concept called no trust. SailPoint will take that as well. So that's how SailPoint is surviving in the market, and they always have a vision. Okay. And migration, it should be easy, right? So let's say the client is using Oracle Identity Access Management. Okay, and they are not happy with that. they want to migrate from Oracle IDM to SailPoint now. SailPoint, if the SailPoint is complex enough to handle the situation, it will go out of market. But SailPoint has its own way to handle it. Okay, the migration is pretty much easy. You'll be able to get all the compliances, you will be able to get all the configurations, and you will be able to move the data from SailPoint, Oracle IDM into SailPoint. Workflows, processes, everything can be done easily. SailPoint has its own configurations for that. And huge demand, yes. If you have a tool, then there should be a person who is able to help you with the tool. If there is no availability of resources, that means admins or developers, you're not going to purchase the tool. You will be purchasing and keeping it wasted, right? Or if you have to rely on only one person, let's say SailPoint, you want to rely on SailPoint to get one person who can help you with that tool, then that's not going to help, right? There should be three contractors who know about SailPoint and who can help you on the SailPoint, right? Who can be available cheap. That is available in SailPoint as well. Okay. So what do you need to learn SailPoint? For a beginner and who have aspiration to learn development, I would suggest you should have knowledge on core Java, OOPS concept at least, and certain framework. What is a collection framework? All those information. You know of it. It's pretty much good. And XMLs are nothing but a framework. It's easy to learn. It's not so complex as you think. These two information, if you know, you are good to start as a SailPoint developer. Now, what about administrator? Sir, I know I don't want to be a developer. I want to make, be an admin. Yes, you can be without any knowledge, basically. You have to learn SailPoint fully from end to end, from dashboard to the debug page. You need to understand everything about SailPoint. You don't need to have a coding skill for that. You need to have an analytics skill. You need to understand what is happening, why it's happening, and how to fix it, or who would be the right person to fix it. This level of understanding, if you have a SailPoint, it's just like browsing Facebook or email, right? It will be pretty much